Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. So there has been a question that gamers have also been asking about all over, and we are in the middle of 2020. We're on the approach of next generation consoles, the Xbox Series X, and of course the PlayStation 5. And everybody has been wondering is if it's still really worth to get a PlayStation 3 or an Xbox 360, the previous generation of consoles from the current ones that we have right now in the market. And right now, these consoles are literally dirt cheap, but there's some good news and there's some bad news about them. Now, the bad news is if you're still wanting to get a Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 3, your best choice is to get one or both of them as quickly as possible because much longer GameStop in especially like pawn shops, especially with the pawn shop that I go shop at, which is called Cashland, which I made a video about here recently about them telling me that for very much long they're not going to be selling PlayStation 3s or Xbox 360s or games or accessories for them very much longer. And I can honestly see why they're actually saying that. It is mostly because we're already approaching the 7th year anniversary, especially of the current generations, because the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 originally launched back in November 2013, and now we're almost at the end of the console's life cycle, which we're basically getting the Xbox Series X and the PS5 this coming up holiday season, which there's a lot of rumors and speculations that are pointing out that there possibly might actually be a delay in these console generations, but as it stands for right now, they are still set to release this November window frame that they had scheduled. So, but because of these consoles coming out and not being for very much long with selling the previous generation, yeah, if I was honestly you and you like say like you're a brand new your first console was like the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One or the Nintendo Switch or some sort, and you want to basically go experience some of all these older games that a lot of us gamers that have been gamers for a while have already played, or say like you've known about that system and you got rid of it a long time ago, and now that you're thinking about it, you actually want to get another one, say like you had a 360 like back in like 2010, and these all these great games like there's just a lot of great games on last generation that you are never going to get to experience no better than on those systems that they were originally for. Now, we have gotten a lot of games remastered over the last few years on current gen systems that were originally on the 360. Something like the Resident Evil trilogy, where you get Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, and of course Resident Evil 6, and all that good stuff, and the Halo, the Master Chief Collection, where you get all four of the Halos that were originally for the original Xbox and the 360 all together. So, yeah, but anyway, it's like if you want the best experience possible, it's best to get them for the consoles that they were originally for, because you're getting the original classic, experience and such. And like I mentioned, there's also some games that like you can't get on no other platform but those platforms. And we're talking about games like Dragon Ball Z, the Budokai collection, and even though the Xbox One is basically backwards compatible with like 500 to like 600 some Xbox 360 games, but literally not every 360 game is backwards compatible for the Xbox One, especially like the one that I just named off, the Dragon Ball Z Budokai collection. Like, that game is one of the few that is not backwards compatible to play on the Xbox One. You, of course, got Battlefield 4 that was also not backwards compatible. I mean, that game is already on current gen systems, but if you, like, let's just say when you had a 360 and you basically bought Battlefield 4 and you didn't want to go rebuy the game again, which I think this is one of the reasons why Microsoft is actually making a really, really smart move with doing smart delivery with games on current gen that are getting released and that will be for next gen as well. So you basically buy the game once and you get the next gen version technically for free, which that is honestly really, really smart that Microsoft is doing. But right now, you can basically find like PS3s and 360s like at pawn shops and of GameStops, literally anywhere from like 70 to $100. And that is pretty darn cheap for those consoles, and especially with all the games that you can get for them, they are literally dirt cheap. I mean, we have about some games that are on current gen that are starting to be getting dirt cheap, but like 90% of the last generation games are basically dirt cheap. Like, you could basically get like WWE 2012 for like $5 at GameStop for the PS3. You can get Modern Warfare 3 also for the 360 or PS3 for like around $5, and the same thing with Modern Warfare 2. Like, there's so many great games that you can get for literally dirt cheap. And by the way, if you end up saying like you spend like $200 or something for like a 360 with like a 500 gig or a 320 gig slim model, and you could basically use another $100 worth of games, and you could pretty much get like, you could basically have a great library of games after the next $100 that you spent for, because they're so darn cheap. You could get like 10 to 20 different 360 games literally for $100 altogether after you buy the system for $100. So yeah, so if I was you, and if you're really, really wanting to get back into playing some of your old favorite classics or anything like that, yeah, I would suggest to get a 360 and or a PS3 as soon as you possibly can, as fast as you can, because very much longer these stores are not going to be selling them anymore. And it's mostly because they're just they're just going to be so old that people don't really end up, people don't want to get anymore. And it was the same thing with the original Xbox and the PlayStation 2, which places do still kind of sell those, but those are a little bit more older and more retro, so people are starting to become in retro gaming and such. And so that's why I'm making this video about getting a PlayStation 3 or an Xbox 360. I personally just went back, like I said, and played Resident Evil 5. I just started replaying Resident Evil 5 yesterday on my 360, and I'm already on chapter 2./2. And honestly, I'm really enjoying it a lot, going back and playing that game. So yeah, but yeah, if you're one of those people that really, really is wanting to go back and play some old games or to get a old generation system, you best better, like I said, do it as soon as possible when you're able to, because GameStop and the pawn shops are not going to be selling these consoles for very much long, especially like I made on one of my previous videos here recently about, GameStop and the pawn shops not selling these older consoles for very much long. So, yeah, if I was you, then I would honestly get one as soon as you possibly can. This is Infernal Shard 1 for the win. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys could, please hit a like if you enjoy this content. Also, for those of you that are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I will be sure to keep you guys posted with more gaming content in the future. And also, send me down in the comment section down below if you're actually thinking about looking into getting one of those seventh generation of consoles of the PS3 or the Xbox 360. And also send me down in the comment section down below if those of you that already own one and that wants to play games on those previous consoles with me, just let me know in the comment section down below of your thoughts on the video. And like I said, subscribe for those of you that are new. Hit a like if you enjoy this content. And I will see you guys on the next video. So, rate, comment, and subscribe. And we will catch you guys on the next video. So, peace out.